Well, let's get more on this from Ulrich Brueckner, a professor of European Studies at Stanford University in Berlin. Thank you very much for your time, Ulrich. The fires, I'm pleased to say, they're now under control. But how close did they come to Athens?
Well, the direct distance between the parliamentary building and the 30 kilometers long fire line was nothing less than 11 kilometers. So one could not only smell it, but one can literally see that there is something happening so close to the city center of Athens. And I think this is something that is different from watching wildfires in the news, where sometimes you have a different sky or people talk about it. But it feels like this is threatening the core, the political center, the capital, the heart of the Greek economy, and that leaves a different impression. But the anger of people, like how could that happen again, implies that you only need to press buttons and then you get nature under control. We live in times of climate change, and so such weather phenomena are not something special in Greece. We see them everywhere, and Germany has been hit harder in the last couple of years in various ways that were unheard of in the past.
And on that anger that you mentioned there, is there a lot of anger directed towards the Greek government? How quickly was it in reacting to these fires? Because they happen every summer. Could more have been done to prevent them?
Well, when we look at the different attitudes in European Union member states towards their governments, then Greece used to rank very low, that people have no trust at all in their government and their capability to handle difficult moments, let it be a financial crisis or a natural catastrophe. But there is, and that's the good news, a form of learning that if it happens over and over again, you do not only present something like we built special equipment or we buy a plane, but we also think about the maintenance and the long-term strategy. And this time, the first plane arrived just a few minutes until the first fire was identified. And Greece is part of a bigger European integrated strategy that there's a natural catastrophe observation and coordination headquarter in Brussels that organizes pooling and sharing and helps funding by providing the equipment and the maintenance and everything that makes it not just a quick response and then someone communicates better or worse, but a much better coordinated strategy to deal with massive natural catastrophes of that size.
We've already reported that this was the worst fire in Greece of the year. Has it been worse than any other year? And are we starting to see more and more of these so-called mega fires across Europe? And what's it down to?
Well, when we think back just to last year, it was the biggest fire ever in the island of Rhodes. Rhodes is not the island, it's not the capital, but it is equally important when we look at its importance in the tourism industry, which is the #1 economic sector for the Greek GDP. So I think it's just an exaggeration that we pump up whatever headline and make it the biggest, and the inflationary language doesn't really respond to what's happening on the ground. On the other hand, if such fires like the one on Sunday are just one of 60, and even if you have more investment in foresight and better equipment and coordinate the use of special planes from other countries that fight something like this, it is still a general climate change phenomenon that you can buffer a bit, but you cannot change the root cause of climate change. And I'm afraid we simply have to live with large-scale natural catastrophe phenomenon like that. And that needs to be better coordinated and communicated, but you cannot stop them.
Ulrich, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Ulrich Brueckner, speaking to us live there from